audience. Please welcome from way down under, YouTube's hottest late night host, Lou! Late night with Lou!
Well, hello and welcome. So glad to have you with us. Just absolutely out of this world, in fact, to have you with us. We've been looking at scripture references to the event called the Incarnation. And we're going to look today at one of the reasons why certain angels decided not to get on board with that event. We're going to take a look at one of the Psalms here. Psalm 91. For he commands his angels with regard to you, to guard you wherever you go. With their hands they shall support you, lest you strike your foot against a stone. Who's being talked about here? The Messiah, of course. The God-man. The being/creature that is both divine and human. God commands his angels with regard to you, to guard you wherever you go. With their hands they shall support you, lest you strike your foot against a stone. The angels, in other words, are serving the God-man. The angels, who are a higher order of being than humanity, find themselves servants to a human being who happens to be God. All right? Matthew 4 also mentions this after his long sojourn in the desert, not eating for 40 days, and having been visited by an old friend of his, and tempted and tested in various ways. Matthew tells us that after I left, angels came and ministered to Jesus. Luke also tells us, in fact, so do the other Gospels, that the night before he died, as he pleaded, as we heard in the letter to the Hebrews last episode, with loud supplications and cries to his Father to be spared, he was visited by an angel who comforted him. The angels serving a human being. Here's the thing. We were shown before the material creation came into being, we were shown this prodigy, this mind-blowing, work of God. The God-man. The God who became human. The human being who was and is the second person of the Trinity. We were shown this. God said, look, I've got something in mind here. I'm thinking about creating a material cosmos, a cosmos that's, below the angelic realm, but won't it be awesome? There's going to be things like waterfalls and palm trees and bougainvillea and ice and smoke and just all kinds of cool things that don't exist right now. And I'm going to make all that, and guess what? I'm going to go into it myself and become part of it. Look at this. I'm going to become one of these creatures that's going to be the steward, the head creature of the material creation. I'm going to become one of them myself. We're looking at something that's below us, you understand. We're looking at something that is below us. We are pure spirit. As I said last episode, pure spirit is simply superior to that which can and does die, to that which can and does become corrupted and decays. We were invited when we were shown this prodigy of God's, the Incarnation, the God-man, to worship this, if I may say so, hybrid freak, this thing that no one could have foreseen coming. God. Becoming an inferior creature. Taking on material nature in an inferior creation. Why would God want to do that? I'm telling you, most of us, it wasn't most of us. All of us who've since separated ourselves from the heavenly court. To all of us, it was inconceivable. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and the rest of those sissy Mary good angels went right down on their angelic non-faces, so to speak. They looked at it, this hybrid thing that God was going to do with himself and with the inferior creation. And they said, "Oh, wow, isn't it awesome?" And they all went down on their faces. Demonia, Ingloria, Infestus, Despicabus, Lucifer, and millions more of our brother and sister angels resisted. Speaking of devils, Demonia, just for a moment. So, what's the latest? Luz Evangelina has let Rupert back into the suite after 2 nights and 2 days of steady negotiations. Really? He offered her the price of the tuna boat in San Francisco Bay to try to make up for this? Wasn't that $75 million? He offered her that much money? And she refused it. She scoffed at it. She held out for and got? No. 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 Oh my, pardon my Latin. Oh my God. No. No, Demonia. This is a hair on fire moment. No. He can't be serious. He's going to give Luz Evangelina penny for penny the cost of Oleg's boat? $245 million to Luz Evangelina. That's $250 million in the hands of a woman who knows just what to do with it. Oh, this is not good, Demonia. I know you know it's not good. It almost makes me regret that we had him buy the yacht in the first place. Who could have foreseen this coming? He had to sell stock. He had to sell stock to raise the cash. Not his own stock, of course. No. Aha. He liquidated his Matthews Pacific account. Well, that was a big account. There was a lot of Asian development involved in that account. But of course, when you're worth 12 to 14 billion, what's a paltry $250 million? Particularly, perhaps, when placed in the scales against the viability and the survival of your marriage. Right, of course. He can write it off as taxes. Well, he can write at least some of it off as taxes. Luz's foundation is a legit 501c3. I'm with you, Demonia. I'm crestfallen. I'm appalled. For such a saintly woman, Luz certainly knows how to drive a worldly bargain. How to engage in hardball tactics at negotiation. Or maybe she just knows how to work her husband. In either event, you've almost got to admire her. $250 million for her damned charitable work. No, you're right. Of course, dear Demonia, admiration is the last thing Luz has earned from either of us. You can just imagine what she's got in mind for that $245 million. Clean drinking water in remote African villages, medical care for the indigent in Latin America, improvements in staffing, programming, and infrastructure for boys and girls clubs all over the Bay Area. Makes your stomach turn, or it would if we had stomachs. No, I don't even want to think about what Luz is going to do. I mean, I already have. And as I say, it makes my stomach turn once she gets her grubby paws on all that money. Well, of course, you're right, dear. Of course. Luz's manicures they're exquisite. It's all the same a stomach-turning business, considering what she's going to do with that $250 million once she gets her exquisitely manicured paws on it. Well, would you like just a little bit of cheery news? It's quite minor in comparison to the bomb you've just dropped. Sure. Happy to cheer you up just a bit, my dear. Oleg, our dear Oleg, whose yacht is now Rupert's. Our dear Oleg, our Russian oligarch and permanent residence here with us at the Hilton from Hell. Oleg's guardian demon tells me that when he let our dear Oleg know of the purchase of his yacht by a California high-tech billionaire, Oleg went from simmer to sizzle. Sorry. It's just that I love to see a life wasted, that's all, and especially a life that went so far in the world, that could have done so much good for the world, and who is now here with us forever, sizzling rather than simmering. Ah, yes, more cheery news. The party on the Lowe's yacht. Just 4 days to go. And Liz is on board, so to speak. Delighted because the children are coming. Of course she's going to go to the party because Faith and Gabriel are going to be there. Okay, and Faith is already on her way over? Okay. All right. Well, it's in just 4 days. Tell me, is she traveling with her young Puerto Rican would-be Broadway star, Soho waiter? Coming on her own. The waiter has auditions in the city. Okay. So Faith's coming on her own. And Gabriel, has he taken off for France yet? Flying 2 days from now. At the moment, he's getting drunk with his frat brothers. Well, good for Gabriel. That's truly a boy after my own heart. You know, I think he will truly come to no good. We're preparing a nice little cell for him here whenever he decides to come to it. And it could be early, you know. Youth like him. Talk about wasted lives. We'll do all we can with Gabriel once we get him to the yacht. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to 4 days from now. Meanwhile, you've got work to do there in the south of France, and heaven knows I've got a portfolio of things here demanding my attention. All right, my dear. Wonderful work. Keep it up, and we'll be in touch. Take care. I'm so sorry about Liz's success in negotiation. Yeah. The demon's work is never done, my dear. All right. Love you too. Well, you can't win them all, can you? That Liz, I'll tell you, she's one sharp cookie for someone who's this close, it seems, to sainthood. I just don't get her. Never have. And I'm afraid we never will get her. Not down here. But Rupert, Christopher, Faith, Gabriel, coming into contact with the people they're going to be coming into contact via the Lowe's. Yeah. This is gonna be good. There's gonna be a lot of opportunity here for you know what. SIN. Looking forward to it. All right. See you next time. Take good care and don't do anything Uncle Lou wouldn't do.